Greetings! Mantare79 here! And welcome back to another deck profile video for Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days! Alrighty then, let's get started. Pressing the A button. Now, loading game, and proceeding. Here we are in the main menu. And going to the edit deck menu. And now, in today's video, the deck profile video I'm going to be making one for is a Stoicheia's Mysterious Rain Spiritualist Zorga D-BT06. And I'm going to be using this Stoicheia's Mysterious Rain Spiritualist Zorga D-BT04 deck as the base of the deck I'm going to build. Okie dokie, let's get started. Entering edit deck, and off we go! Here we are in the edit deck menu, and like I just mentioned before, the deck I'm building this deck profile video is a Stoicheia's Mysterious Rain Spiritualist Zorga deck made up of cards only available up until D-BT06. Alright, first let's go to the filter settings, and to pack, show only cards from D-BT1, Genesis of the 5 Greats, D-BT2, Rush with the Legends, D-BT3, Advance of Intertwined Stars, D-BT4, Awakening of Chakrabarti, D-BT5, Triumphant Return of Brave Heroes, Festival Collection 2021, Festival Collection 2022, Troll Pack number 1, and last but not least, D-BT6, Blazing Dragon Reborn. Applying filter, and now let's begin. First, the Grade 3 lineup. For the Grade 3s of this deck, we are playing the Ride deck, Grade 3, Mysterious Rain Spiritualist Zorga. Skills. The first skill, Continuous, is a Vanguard. When you play a normal order, you can bind a normal order of a different card name from your drop and Alchemagic. Combine the cost and add to the effect to the back. Second skill, Action, as a Vanguard once per turn. Cost, Counter Blast 1, and choose a card from your drop zone and call to rear guard. So for Zorga, he's the main Grade 3 to run his deck. With his skills, the first skill, just by meeting the requirements of the first skill, it's possible to Alchemagic and play 2 orders in a single turn. And the second skill, as long as you're willing to pay the cost, you can call any card from the drop zone to your rear guard to serve as a possible front row attacker, back row booster, or a rear guard whose skill you wish to take advantage of later on. And okie dokie, the Grade 3 Mysterious Rain Spiritualist Zorga, we have 4 in the deck, 1 in the Ride deck, leaving it that way. And next up, the Grade 3 Grief, Despair, and Rejection. Skill order, play the cost of Counter Blast 1. If your Vanguard is Mysterious Rain Spiritualist Zorga, choose 3 of your units and they get plus 10,000 power until end of turn. So for Grief, Despair, and Rejection, it's a support order for the Mysterious Rain Spiritualist Zorga. With its skill, as long as you're willing to pay the cost, you can choose up to 3 units, Vanguard and Rear Guard included, and give them plus 10,000 power, making it easier to potentially pressure or finish off your opponent. And so, the Grade 3 normal order, Grief, Despair, and Rejection. We have 3 in the deck, leave it that way. Next up, the Grade 3 normal order, Regurgitation from the Underworld. We're not playing this card anymore, taking it out, thanks for everything. Next up, the Grade 3 Roaming Prison Dragon. Skill, Auto from the drop zone. When you play a normal order, you may call this card to rear guard circle. If you call this card, perform one of the following. If it was Alchemagic, perform all of the following instead. This unit gets plus 10,000 power until end of turn. This unit gets plus 1 critical until end of turn. So for Roaming Prison Dragon, a support card for the Zorga deck, with its skill, by meeting the conditions of the skill, you can make it possible to give your Roaming Prison Dragon plus 10,000 power and plus 1 critical, making it a potential 15,000 point attacker for the front row and a 2 critical attacker for the front row as well. And alright, the Grade 3 Roaming Prison Dragon, we have 2 in the deck. Adding 2 more, we are playing 4. And next for the Grade 3 lineup, we are putting in, for the Grade 3s, we are using this one, the Grade 3 Normal Order, Clouded Miasma. Skill, Order, play a specific cost of Counter Blast 1, choose a Grade 3 or less card from your drop zone, call to rear guard. If this is part of an Alchemagic, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets the skill Continuous as a Vanguard. All of your front row units get plus 5,000 power until end of turn. So for Clouded Miasma, another support order for the Zorga deck. With its skill, by paying the cost, you can superior call any Grade 3 or less card from the drop zone to serve as a potential front row attacker, back row booster, or rear guard whose skill we should take advantage of later in the game. And also, you can also give your Vanguard an additional skill of giving all front row units, Vanguard, rear guard included, an additional 5,000 power, making it easier to land attacks and pressure finish off your opponent with. And affirmative, the Grade 3 Normal Order, Clouded Miasma. We are putting 3 into the deck. 3 is enough. And with that, which is about covered the deck's Grade 3 lineup, now let's get on to the Grade 2 lineup. For the Grade 2s of this deck, we are playing the Grade 2 Ride deck, Black Tears, Husk Dragon. Skills, first skill, Auto. When this unit is placed in the Vanguard circle, choose up to 1 normal order from your drop zone and put it into your hand. Second skill, Continuous as a rear guard. If you played an order this turn, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. And so for the Grade 2 Black Tears Husk Dragon, it's the main Grade 2 to ride this deck. If its skill is the first skill, just by riding Black Tears Husk Dragon, you can secure at least 1 normal order from your drop zone to return to your hand to use its skill for your later game strategy. And the second skill, as long as you've got Black Tears in the rear guard and the conditions of the skill are met, your Black Tears Husk Dragon can then serve as a potential 15,000 point attacker for your front row. And okay, the Grade 2 Black Tears Husk Dragon, we have 1 in the right deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 2 Nectar of Sensationalism. We're not going to play this card anymore, taking it out, thanks for everything. And in its place, we are putting in the Grade 2 Tearful Malice. Skill, Order, play a specific cost of retire 2 of your rear guards. If the cost is paid, draw 1 card, put this card into your soul, and countercharge 1. So for Tearful Malice, it's a pretty good order card to play in your Stoicheia decks with its skill. As long as you don't mind paying for its cost, not only do you get to draw 1 card, you can also restock your soul for later Soul Blast, and also countercharge 1 to refund your Counter Blast. And alrighty, the Grade 2 Normal Order Tearful Malice, we are putting 2 into the deck. 2 is fine, and now, next for the Grade 2 lineup, we are playing the Grade 2 Shadow Cloak. Skills, first skill. When this unit is placed on the rear guard circle from hand, search your deck for up to 1 order card and reveal it. If your drop does not have a card of the same card name as that card, discard the revealed card and shuffle your deck. Second skill, Auto as a rear guard. When you play an order, cost Soul Blast 1. If the cost is paid, this unit gets plus 5,000 power until end of turn. If it was Alchemagic, choose one of your other rear guards and return it to hand. So for Shadow Cloak, another support card for the Zorga deck. If its skill is the first skill, just by calling Shadow Cloak from your hand to the rear guard, you have the chance to search your deck for an order card, and either the conditions of the skill will either allow you to Alchemagic with, and the second skill, as long as the conditions of the skill are met, you have the chance to not only turn your Shadow Cloak into a potential 15,000 point attacker for the front row, but to also return any rear guard back to your hand to later use again for your other game strategies. And alright, the Grade 2 Shadow Cloak. We have 3 in the deck, so I think we're just gonna leave it that way. Next up, the Grade 2 Clipping Dragon of Soul Revolution. Not playing this card anymore, taking it out. Thank you for everything. And next, the Grade 2 Normal Order. Gather upon me, ye wandering souls. Skill, Order, plays at a cost of discard an order from your hand. If the cost is paid, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets drive +1 until end of turn. So for the Grade 2 Normal Order, Gather upon me, ye wandering souls, is a pretty good order card to play in your Stoicheia decks, especially for Zorga. With its skill, by paying the cost, you can give your Vanguard drive +1, making it easier to get triggers or at least restock your hand of more cards. And affirmative, the Grade 2 normal order. Gather upon me, ye wandering souls. We have 2 in the deck. We are leaving it that way, and with that, we just about finished the deck's Grade 2 lineup. Now it's time to get on with the deck's Grade 1 lineup. For the Grade 1s of this deck, we are playing the Grade 1 Ride deck, Rancor Chain. Skills, first skill, action as a Vanguard, once per turn. Cost, Soul Blast 1, and if the cost is paid, draw 2 cards. Choose up to 1 order card from your hand, discard it. If you do not discard, choose 2 cards from your hand and discard it instead. And the second skill, continuous as a rear guard. If you played an order card this turn, this unit gets plus 2,000 power. So for Rancor Chain, it's the main Grade 1 to ride this deck. If it's skills, the first skill, just by paying the cost, you have the chance to draw 2 cards in your hand and to send 1 order card from your hand to the drop zone to later Alchemagic with. And the second skill, as long as the conditions of the skill are met, your Rancor Chain can turn into a potential 10,000 point attacker for the front row or a 10,000 point booster for the back row. And alrighty, the Grade 1 Rancor Chain, we have 1 in the ride deck. Leave it that way. Next up, the Grade 1 Planner Prevent Dragon, Sentinel, Perfect Guard. Skills, first skill, Continuous Sentinel. Second skill, Auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units and it cannot be hit until the end of battle. If your hand has 2 more cards, choose a card from your hand and discard it. So for Planner Prevent Dragon, it's a perfect guard for the Stoicheia Nation. Like any other perfect guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When used to guard whip and discarding 1 card from your hand, you can block 1 enemy attack. But it also features an ability unique to all these standard former perfect guards. When used to guard whip while you have less than 2 cards in hand, you will not have to pay the usual discard 1 cost, making Planner Prevent Dragon a potential no-cost perfect guard in desperate last resort situations. And alright, the Grade 1 Planner Prevent Dragon, we have 4 in the deck, taking 1 out, only playing 3. And next for the Grade 1 lineup, we are putting in the Grade 1 Blitz Order, Elementaria Sanctitude. Skills, first skill, Continuous Sentinel. You may only have up to 4 cards of Continuous Sentinel deck. Second skill, Continuous. You may only have up to 1 Elementaria Sanctitude in the deck. Third skill, Order. If your opponent's Vanguard is triple drive, this ability can be played without paying the cost. Play this with the cost of, discard a card from your hand if your Vanguard is Grade 3 or less. If the cost is paid, choose one of your units and it cannot be hit until end of battle. Remove this card. So for Elementaria Sanctitude, it's the Blitz Order version of the Perfect Guard. Like any other Perfect Guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When activated and discarding 1 card from your hand, you can block 1 enemy attack. But if used against opponents who play Vanguards of triple drive, for example, Grade 4s or Vanguards to increase their drive check by skill or card effect, when playing Elementaria Sanctitude, it can then serve as a potential no-cost perfect guard against such opponents. And alright, the Grade 1 Blitz Order, Elementaria Sanctitude. We are putting 1 into the deck. And next up in the Grade 1 lineup, we are using the Grade 1 Normal Order, Spiritual Body Condensation. Not playing this card anymore, taking it out. Thanks for everything. Next up, the Grade 1 Rogue Headhunter. Skills, first skill, Continuous as a rear guard. If you played an order this turn, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. Second skill, Auto. When this unit is placed in the rear guard circle, the next time you would Alchemagic an order and play this turn, reduce that cost by Counterblast 1. Reduced from the total of cost, does not countercharge even if it becomes negative. So for Rogue Headhunter, another support card for the Zorga deck. With skills, the first skill, as long as the conditions of the first skill are met, your Rogue Headhunter can then serve as a potential 13,000 point attacker for the front row or a 13,000 point booster for the back row. And second skill, just by calling to the rear guard, you can then reduce the number of costs for your normal order and Alchemagic cost by less than 1 counterblast, giving you more counterblast to use for other cards later on. And okie dokie, the Great One, Rogue Headhunter. We have 4 in the deck. We're just gonna leave it that way. And next up for the deck's Great One lineup, we are using the Great One. The Great One, let's see, what would be a good card to play in this deck now? How about this one, the Great One, Normal Order. In the dim darkness, the frozen resentment. Skill order plays if it costs of Soul Blast 1. Look at if the cost been paid, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Choose a card from among them, discard it, shuffle your deck, choose a card from your drop zone with grade less than equal to your Vanguard, and call to rear guard. So for In the Dim Darkness, the Frozen Resentment, a good order card to play in your Stoicheia Nation decks, especially for Zorga. With its skill at paying the cost, you have the chance to look at the top 3 cards of your deck, send any one of them to the drop zone, then shuffle your deck. Then you can superior call any card from your drop zone whose grade is equal or less than your Vanguard, giving you a rear guard to serve as a potential front row attacker, back row booster, or a rear guard of a skill which you wish to take advantage of later on. And affirmative, the normal order, grade 1, In the Dim Darkness, the Frozen Resentment. We are putting 2 into the deck. 2 is fine, and with that, we just about covered the deck's grade 1 lineup. Now let's get on with the grade 0 lineup. For the grade 0s of this deck we are playing, the grade 0 Ride deck, Dream Nibbling, Skill Auto. When this unit is voted upon, if you went second, draw 1 card. So for Dream Nibbling, it's the starting unit of this deck. Its skill, just by riding on top of it, you can draw 1 card if you're the second to go in the game. And affirmative, the grade 0 Dream Nibbling starting unit. We have 1 in the Ride deck, leaving it that way. And now let's get on with the trigger lineup. For the triggers of this deck we are playing, the grade 0 Abyss Temptation critical trigger. We have 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the grade 0 Aspiring Maiden Alana critical trigger. Skill auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost is paid, choose one of your units, and it gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. So for Alana, she's a powerful critical trigger to play in your Stoicheia Nation decks with her skill. After boosting the attack, regardless if the attack hits or not, as long as you don't mind moving Alana from your rear guard into the soul, not only do you get to build up your soul for later Soul Blast, but to also give your remaining attackers in the field, Vanguard or rear guard, a little extra power to work with. And alright, the grade 0 Aspiring Maiden Alana critical trigger. We have 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the grade 0 Frenzied Heiress front trigger. We're not playing this card anymore, taking it out. And in its place, we are putting in the grade 0. How about this one? The grade 0 Serene Maiden Lena draw trigger. Skill continuous as a guardian. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5,000 shield. So for Serene Maiden Lena, a powerful draw trigger to play in your Stoicheia Nation decks. With her skill, when used to guard with, while the conditions of the skill are met, Lena can then serve as a potential 10,000 point shield all on her own. And confirmed, the grade 0 Serene Maiden Lena draw trigger. We are putting 3 into the deck. 3 is more than enough. And next up, the grade 0 Elegy Pixie heal trigger. Not playing her anymore, taking it out, but thanks for everything. And in her place, we are putting in the grade 0 Zysofolia Fairy Asher heal trigger. Skill auto. When this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle, if your opponent's attacking unit has attacked 2 or more times this turn, this unit gets plus 15,000 shield until end of battle. Active if this battle is its second attack this turn or more. So for Asher, a powerful heal trigger to play in your Stoicheia Nation decks. With its skill, when used to guard with while the conditions of the skill are met, your Zysofolia Fairy Asher can turn to a potential 25,000 point shield on its own. Ideally, Asher is a counter heal best played against opponents who play decks that specialize in restanding and attacking multiple times with either their Vanguard or rear guard. And okie dokie, the grade 0 Zysofolia Fairy Asher heal trigger. We are putting 2 into the deck. 2 is more than enough. And next for the trigger lineup, we are putting in the grade 0 Alchemic Hedgehog heal trigger. Skill auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, if the attacking unit's critical is 2 or greater, and its critical is increased by a non-trigger effect ability, or its original critical is 2 or greater, this unit gets plus 15,000 shield until end of battle. So for Alchemic Hedgehog, another powerful heal trigger to play in your Stoicheia Nation decks. With its skill, when used to guard with while the conditions of the skill are met, your Alchemic Hedgehog can then serve as a potential 25,000 point shield on its own. Ideally, Alchemic Headshot is a counter heal, best played against opponents who play decks that specialize in increasing their attacking units' critical, Vanguard, Rearguard by skill or card effect. And alright, the Grade 0 Alchemic Headshot heal trigger, we are putting 2 into the deck. 2 is enough. And last but not least, the Grade 0 Source Dragon Deity of Blessings plus Favor, Over Trigger, Skill, Trigger, Additional Effect. Draw a card. Choose one of your units and it gets +1 critical until end of turn. All of your front row units gets plus 10,000 power. If your damage zone has the same number of cards as your opponent or more, choose a card from your damage zone and heal it. So for plus Favor, he's the Overtrigger for the Stoicheia Nation. Like any other Overtrigger in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When revealed during a drive check or a damage check, you get 100 million power and draw a card. But he also features an ability unique to him alone. When revealed during a drop check or turn, not only do you get to draw 1 card, give 1 unit on your field, Vanguard Rearguard +1 critical, give your entire front row plus 10,000 power, Vanguard and Rearguard included, but also if you meet the conditions of the trigger skill, you can also heal 1 damage. Basically making plus Favor all of the D standard formats triggers into a single card. Draw trigger, critical trigger, front trigger, and heal trigger all in one. And confirm the Grade 0 Source Dragon Deity plus Blessings plus Favor over trigger. We have 1 in the deck, leaving it that way. And of that, we're just about finished building the deck and explaining the card effects. So let's just save the deck. Override deck being built. Yes! And for the cards in this deck we are playing, 4 Grade 3 Mysterious Reign Spiritualist Zorga. 3 Grade 3 Grief, Despair, and Rejection. 4 Grade 3 Roaming Prison Dragon. 3 Grade 3 Clouded Miasma. 1 Grade 2 Black Tears Husk Dragon. 2 Grade 2 Tearful Malice. 3 Grade 2 Shadow Cloak. 2 Grade 2 Gather Upon Me, Ye Wandering Souls. 3 Grade 1 Ladder Prevent Dragon. 1 Grade 1 Elementaria Sanctitude. 1 Grade 1 Rancor Chain. 4 Grade 1 Rogue Headhunter. 2 Grade 1 In the Dim Darkness, the Frozen Resentment. 1 Grade 0 Dream Nibbling starting unit. And for the trigger line of this deck we are playing, 8 critical triggers. 3 draw triggers. 4 heal triggers. And last but not least, 1 over trigger, bless favor. Okie dokie, deck built, card effects explained. Now it's time to test out the deck, so let's leave the edit deck menu, returning to main menu, off to fight menu, to CPU fight, selecting the deck I just built, the Stoicheia's Mysterious Reign Spiritualist Zorga D-BT06 deck. Selecting the deck and choosing the opponent, testing out on Brant Gates, Zakaza Ishigame, normal difficulty, and start. And the battle begins! Let's get started! And here we are, entering the fight. We're gonna decide who goes first, so a rock, paper, scissors, shoot! Paper to scissors, I lose, going second. Drawing our starting hands, I got a Perfect Guard, Ruling Prison, Critical Trigger, and 2 order cards. Gonna hold on to all the normal orders and normal units. Just gonna return the trigger, redraw. Yes, Hit Hunter, not bad. Now my opponent's going first. He's gonna ride Brutus and Tectian skill, revealing Overcoming Eternity and adding it to his hand. Lucky him. Brutus' skill, searching his deck for another Overcoming Eternity. Not good for me. Now it's my turn. I stand and draw. I ride from the right deck. Rancor Chain. For the right deck cost, I'm discarding 1 in the dim darkness, frozen resentment, discard and ride rancor chain. Nibbling skill, draw 1 card. I draw a heal trigger, not good. I'm activating rancor chain skill, Soul Blast 1, and draw 2 cards. Draw. 2 more triggers, come on. 2 heals and 2 criticals out of the deck, so unlucky. Fine, whatever, I'm gonna discard Gather Upon Me, Ye Wandering Souls, and I'm just gonna go straight to the battle phase. Vanguard to Vanguard, 8k. The attack goes through. Drop check. No trigger, another order card. Not too bad, I guess. So 1 damage. And boom! 1 damage. Damage check. No trigger, check 10, safe. And that's the end of my turn. Now it's my opponent's turn. My opponent's riding the Grade 2 Cubizia, deploying Hollowing Moonlit Knight to his order zone. And Dark Knight active. Next up, he's gonna activate Cubizia's skill. Power to Vanguard. Now it's 15k. Skill of Moonlit Knight. Draw 1 card. And he calls the Great 1 Kagula, using its skill to Soul Charge 2. And calling Rayozia. And calling another Rayozia. So, okay, 8,000, 23,000. It's a tough choice. So, I think I'm gonna let the first attack go through. No guard. Out. Damage check. No trigger. Shadow Cloak. Not good. An attack from the Vanguard. 23,000 power. I'm gonna take the attack again. Just gonna block the remaining rear guard. No guard. Taking the attack. Drive check. No trigger. Perfect guard. Not good. Out. Damage check. No trigger. Order card. And now 8,000 from the rear guard. I'm gonna guard with the heal trigger Asher. Discard. Guard. 18k. And attack blocked. Kachink. Safe. End of my opponent's turn. My turn. Stand and draw. I ride from the right deck. Black Tears Husk Dragon. For the right deck cost, I'm discarding 1 Roaming Prison Dragon. Discard and ride Black Tears. Black Tears' skill, add 1 order card from my drop zone to my hand. I'm taking Gather Upon Me, Ye Wandering Souls, adding it to my hand, and now I'm gonna call Rogue Headhunter to the rear guard, calling skill, cost reduction, and now I'm playing the order card, Gather Upon Me, Ye Wandering Souls. I discard Tearful Malice for the cost, and +1 drive to my Vanguard, Roaming Prison skill, Superior Call from the drop zone, and call. Plus 10,000 power. There we go. That should be enough. On to battle phase. First up, Headhunter attacks the rear guard. Kagula, 13k to 8k. The attack goes through and slash. 1 less rear guard to worry about. Now Vanguard to Vanguard. 10k, 10k, twin drive. First check. No trigger, order card, not too bad. Second check. No trigger, Persona Ride, again not too bad. So 1 damage. Boom! Damage check. Critical trigger. All effects to the Vanguard. Now Roaming Prison cannot attack the Vanguard, so I'm just gonna attack his remaining rear guard. Roaming Prison, 15k to the rear guard. The attack goes through, and boom! Another rear guard to no longer worry about. So that's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. My opponent's riding the Grade 3 Cardinal Dominus Orphis Regis. Regis' skill, deploying Overcoming in Eternity. Abyssal Dark Knight active, and now he's deploying another Overcoming the Eternity, deploying to the Order Zone. And to the battle phase, 13k to Vanguard, 21k to the Vanguard. Skill of Regis, Superior Call 1 Shadow Army for every 2 World Order, so only calling 1, 15k. But thanks to Overcoming Eternity, plus 5,000 to Shadow Army, there's 2, so it's 10,000. 25,000 power, not counting triggers, this is gonna be rough, so gonna let the Vanguard go through. Twin Drive, first check. First, No trigger, safe, and second check.
ドライブチェックだよ
No trigger, safe, and just 1 damage to me. Here it comes.
この宇宙の深淵を
Ow! Damage check. No trigger, a persona ride, not good. Now it's 25,000 power from the Shadow Army token, 20,000 to block. So I guard and guard. 35,000, 1 heal and 1 critical. Guard! 35k, attack blocked. And ka-chink! Safe! It's the end of my opponent's turn. Now it's my turn. Stand and draw. Another order card, not too bad. I'm gonna ride from the ride deck. Mysterious Rain Spiritualist Zorga. For the ride deck cost, I'm discarding another Zorga, discard, and ride. Now I'm gonna... In my drop zone, I have... Let's see, a Zorga, some triggers and order cards, Dream Nibbling. So I'm first gonna... And the order cards I have in the drop zone are Gather Upon Me and Tearful Malice. And also in the Dim Darkness, Frozen Resentment. Okay, then I think I'm first gonna... First, I'm going to activate the order card, Grief, Despair, and Rejection. Yep. Grief, Despair, and Rejection. And I Alchemagic, Gather Upon Me, You Wandering Souls. For the cost, I'm Counterblasting 1, Counter Blast, and discarding Clouded Miasma, discard. 10,000 the front row. And also plus 1 drive to the Vanguard. Next, I'm activating Zorga's skill. Counter Blast 1, Counter Blast, and Superior Call 1 card from the drop zone. I'm Superior Calling. Superior Call Dream Nibbling, or... Nope, Superior Calling Zorga to the rear guard. Calling, and... Switching places. That should do it. Now, let's get on to the battle phase. On to battle phase. First, Roaming Prison Dragon attacks the rear guard Shadow Army. 15k. The attack goes through, and boom! Another rear guard down, one less to worry about. Now it's time for Vanguard to Vanguard, 23k. Triple drive. First check. Yeah, critical trigger, just what I needed. I give the critical to my Vanguard and power to rear guard. Effects added, critical and power. The second check. Alright, double critical. Getting really lucky here. Crit to Van, power to rear guard. Critical and power. Now for the third check. No trigger, Rogue Headhunter, but not too bad. So 3 damage to my opponent. Boom! Damage 1. No trigger, safe. Damage 2. No trigger, safe. Damage 3. Come on, nothing. No trigger, safe. Now, my opponent has 5 cards in hand. Let's try to lay on the pressure and possibly finish the game. Boosted by Rogue Headhunter. Rear guard Zorga attacks the Vanguard. 56,000 power. My opponent perfect guards. I knew that was there, so he discards for the perfect guard cost a Rayozia. Alright, the attack is blocked, but still does a pretty good turn, so that's about the end of my turn. Now it's my opponent's turn. My opponent's deploying Eclipse Moonlight. Using its skill to Superior Call 1 Shadow Army. And skill of the order card. Overcoming the Eternity. Shadow Army gets plus 5,000 power. There are 2 plus 10,000. On to battle phase. Rear guard the Vanguard. No guard, gonna take it. Ow! Damage check. Alright, draw trigger. The triggers just keep on coming. I drew another Rogue Headhunter, not bad. All effects to Vanguard. Now Vanguard to Vanguard, 21,000 power. Using skill of Orphis to Superior Call 2 Shadow Armies. So calling to the front row and power to Vanguard, then overcoming Eternity skill. plus 10,000 to both Shadow Armies. He's really laying on the power there. But no worries, I think I can block the attack, so... First, I'm just gonna I'm gonna block the Vanguard attack. Quick Tech Tian skill, reveal, and no order cards. And again, plus 5,000 power to Shadow Army, he's done, so I Perfect Guard with Flounder Prevent, Perfect Guard, and for the Perfect Guard cost, I'm discarding Rogue Headhunter, discard, and block. Drive check first, no trigger, Perfect Guard, not good, second check. Critical trigger, I made the right choice, so he gives all effects to the right side Shadow Army. And Kachink, safe. Now, right side attacks, 35k, I gotta block it. Guard 2, guard with 1, yep. Guard 1 critical, Abyss Temptation, 38,000 power, attack blocked. And Kachink, safe. The remaining Shadow Army attacks, 25k. I think I'm just gonna guard it with critical. Guard, better play it safe. 38k, attack blocked, and Kachink, safe. 4 cards in hand, 1 Perfect Guard. My turn, stand and draw. A draw trigger, not good. I Persona Ride, Zorga. And here it comes. Persona Ride. Draw a card. Another trigger, not good. Now Zorga skill. Counter Blast 1, Counter Blast, and Superior Call 1, drop zone card. I'm Superior Calling Rogue Headhunter. Superior Call 1, Headhunter skill, but nothing to activate. Gotta call another Headhunter to the rear guard. Calling, but skill not active. That's enough for me, so on to the battle phase. Boosted by Headhunter to center. My Vanguard attacks the Vanguard, 31,000 power. My opponent Perfect Guards. Nope, he double guards. 43k. 2 to pass. First check. Alright, critical trigger. He has 1 heal, so let's see, here is 23k. Here is 31k. I gave all effects to Roaming Prison Dragon. Power and critical added. Second check. No trigger. I made the right choice, but it's an order card, so the attack is blocked. Now, boosted by Rogue Headhunter. Roaming Prison Dragon attacks the Vanguard. 33,000 power, 2 criticals. And the Perfect Guard is there. It's no cost. The attack is blocked. Now he only has 1 card in hand. I think I can finish it here now. Alright, let's end it here. Boosted by Rogue Headhunter. My right side Zorga attacks the Vanguard. 31,000 power. And another Perfect Guard, no cost. And my opponent got really lucky, so that's it for my turn. Now it's my opponent's turn. My opponent's going to go straight to battle phase, rear guard to Vanguard. Then I guard with a draw trigger, guard 18k. And attack blocked. Kachink. Another Shadow Army to the Vanguard. I guard with heal trigger. Guard. 23k. And Kachink. Safe. Vanguard to Vanguard. 21k. Skill. Superior Calling at least 2 Shadow Armies. This is gonna be really rough. 25,000 on both sides. As long as he doesn't get any triggers, I think I can survive this. And the power just keeps stacking. This is not good for me. Power again, so alright, 31k. Let it go through. Hope my opponent doesn't get any triggers. First check. No trigger, Perfect Guard. And second check, come on, nothing. No trigger, safe, alright. So, 1 damage. Here it comes. Ow! Damage check. No trigger, order card, not good. Shadow Army attacks for 25k. I guard for critical Ilana. Guard. Attack blocked. Ka-chink. One more attack to go. One Shadow Army, 25k. I blocked with Ilana, 28k. Block. And ka-chink. Save. Made it. My turn. Stand and draw. Trigger. Come on. We're in the main phase. I can't activate this order card. Just gotta go straight to battle phase, I guess. So, on to battle phase. Boosted by Headhunter. My Vanguard attacks the Vanguard, 21k. Perfect guard. No cost. Alright. Twin drive, first check. No trigger. Order card, second check. Alright, heal trigger. I really needed that. Healing 1 point of damage, healing, and giving power to Roaming Prison Dragon. Power up. And the attack fails, but now my opponent has 1 card left in hand, a great one. So, boosted by Rogue Headhunter. Hold on. Boosted by Rogue Headhunter, Zorga on the right attacks the Vanguard, 21,000 power. The attack goes through, and boom! 1 damage. Damage check. No trigger. 6 damage. I win. That was a pretty tough fight, but I managed to make it pretty well. I got to use this deck pretty well, so I got win, double critical, double trigger, attack 50,000 more power, perfect guarded, did a persona ride, 8 turns pass, did a superior call, retired 5 opposing units, and drew 3 more times in 1 turn, got 2650 BP, total 63,575 BP, pressing A to go next, leaving the fight, returning to fight menu, and leaving fight menu, back to main menu, and off to the edit deck menu. And with that, we just about finished building the deck, explaining the card effects, and I finished testing out the deck in front of you. So first I want to say is, thank you to the viewers watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. I also hope you all show support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that I say, goodbye!